Hello and welcome to another edition of Congleton Chronicled from Congleton Community TV. Today we're at TMC in the middle of Congleton. Thank you again to them for hosting us. Today I'm joined by Mel Walker, who's the senior reporter at the Congleton Chronicle, who's going to take a look at what's in the paper with us again this week. Mel, welcome back.
Thank you.
I take it James is on holiday again, is he?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
What are we going to do with him?
More holidays than Thomas Cook. Right, okay, so let's take a look at the edition for the 9th of April in 2026. The main headline says, WI veteran left feeling insulted by membership forms.
Yeah.
Insulted by a membership form?
Yeah, so we had a lady give us a call a couple of weeks ago, an 84-year-old lady who'd received her renewal form. She's been a member of the WI for more than 50 years. But she felt very offended because there was a question on there which asked, was she assigned a woman at birth?
Oh.
So she wasn't very happy about that.
Yeah. Did she say something like, well, I can prove it, why don't you just ask all my great-grandkids?
I don't know what she said to them, but
it does seem a little bit odd, doesn't it, really? I can sort of see why she might be offended by that. You know, has there ever been any doubt about her gender or her sex in the past?
Exactly, yeah.
You know, but why would the WI ask that? So
it follows a Supreme Court ruling last year, which is just coming into force from April this year, and it affects a number of gender-specific groups, including Girl Guiding UK as well. From April, they have excluded all trans members of their group, and instead they've opened up other groups which will include trans people, but for the main WI, they are going to have to exclude trans members going forward.
So why? I mean, if it's not too obvious a question, why do they want to exclude trans members?
They say that it's a legal requirement following the Supreme Court ruling.
Right. Okay. So they're saying it's the law, basically speaking.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, would there be any problem with a trans woman, a person born male but wants to be identified as a woman, joining the WI?
Not anymore. So they won't be allowed to join as a member of the WI.
So it wouldn't happen at all?
No. So now they can join one of these other groups that have been set up by the WI. But it has led to a lot of controversy, as you can imagine. But some of the WI groups have closed through protests over this.
Right, yeah. I mean, I can imagine, particularly in the current atmosphere around all this, that it's probably not quite, it's probably extremely controversial, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
What's the LGBTQ community said about this? Has anybody commented?
So we spoke to a lady called Karen Richards, who is chair of Pride in Alsager. She actually felt that even being asked the question, were you assigned a woman at birth, is intrusive and violates other elements of the Equalities Act, which give a right to privacy. They say everybody should have a right to privacy. So she believes that it's actually illegal for the WI to have even asked that question. Now, the WI we went to for comment, and they strongly denied that. They say that they have gone through all their processes, legal processes, and they say it is very unfortunate that they've had to do this. But that's...
Yeah, I suppose the controversy there is, does something as personal as how you identify yourself, does that qualify as privacy? I mean, that's the interesting debate about this, isn't it? You know, are the two things the same? Are they interchangeable?
I suppose if you want to keep it private...
Well, quite, absolutely,
then you have a right to do so, don't you?
Yeah, it's everybody's right, isn't it, in that respect? It's everybody's right to identify how they like as well, isn't it, really? So, you know, if I suppose, you know, I was born male, clearly, and at nearly 60 years old, I still think I am. But it means I couldn't join an organisation as a trans woman, even though I wholeheartedly believed in the actual the reason for it to exist. You know, the WI isn't just about baking cakes anymore, is it? It's a lot more complicated and a lot more professional than that. I actually quite like the WI, but you know, if I wanted to join and I thoroughly believed in what they're doing, I can't, can I?
No.
See, that's discrimination, I think. So maybe it is the law that's the problem.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it is.
Okay, so, and the WI are what are they saying? It's just the law and there's nothing they can do about it?
This is the law. There's nothing they can do. They've set up these other groups that trans women can join, along with other women, and presumably men as well. Yeah. But this is the way it's got to be.
I mean, if we look at this positively, you might say that law was introduced to, protect women from predatory men who might want to identify as a woman for nefarious reasons. Yeah. Which you can see the logic in that, and you can't disagree with that. Something does need to be done about that, because it will happen if you don't. But it does seem it's just like overreach when you're talking about something like the WI. I understand it with the guides. Yeah. But the WI? No, it just seems a shame for them, really, because they do such good work, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Well, let's see how that one goes. Other story on the front page. S106.
Our favourite subject.
Robert Douglas, where are you now? This is basically S106 money is what developers give to councils as part of planning applications. Yeah. So it's about improving the infrastructure and facilities of, say, new estates and stuff like that, isn't it, really? So there's a little bit comes out of the development, which goes to the council so that they can pay for those things. Except Cheshire East Council doesn't seem to be doing it an awful lot.
Well, sometimes they are failing to claim the money from the developer. Yeah. Sometimes they are claiming the money from the developer, and then that's where it stops. It then sits in a bank account. And we're not talking about insignificant sums of money. Sometimes we're talking about hundreds, if not millions of pounds cumulatively across, lots and lots of different planning applications that are on an ongoing basis. And the question was raised at an Alsager Town Council meeting by Cheshire East Councillor Reg Kane. What is happening to the interest on this money?
And what is happening to the interest on this money?
Well, we don't know, because Cheshire East Council hasn't responded to our request for comment.
Oh, right, okay. Not like them.
But, this money is sat in a bank account somewhere. It is accruing interest. There are town councils that have been hammering Cheshire East for years and years to try and get access to some of this money. For example, in Alsager, there is a crossroads called Bank Corner, where there's £370,000 in S106 money that's been in a bank account waiting for improvements to be made, and that's been there for more than 7 years. That's been waiting.
Oh, right.
And this isn't the only one. There are lots of things like this. So Reg Kane did question, is this interest that's accruing on S106 money the only thing that's propping Cheshire East up financially?
Well, I mean, if you're living on the interest, like some people do in their private lives, I suppose you could see how a council would be tempted to do that, certainly when they're all so short of money. But the S106 money, though, there's a limitation on it, isn't there? It has to be spent within a certain amount of time, and on specific things. Yeah. And if it's not spent by the council, it has to go back to the developer, doesn't it? So if the developer gets the money back, they're quids in, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right.
So and Cheshire East Council's got nothing to say about that.
They haven't so far, no. I mean, it comes down to the individual Cheshire East ward councillors really to, bang the drum for their own area, their own ward, as to how that money gets spent, and they just need to keep on at the council, really, to get access to that money. Yeah,
well, we've got 6 Cheshire East ward councillors just in Congleton itself, so maybe it's time for those councillors to start banging the drum, maybe work together as a team, regardless of political differences, and see if Congleton can get some of that S106 money. That would be good, wouldn't it? Because driving in here today, I thought I was driving on roads that have been used for mortar practice. I mean, I've seen some patchwork's been done, but there's so much left to do, isn't there? I know. And finally, something amazing has blown through Congleton, hasn't it?
Yes, a tornado. A tornado. This is the tornado steam train, which came through Congleton train station on Good Friday. It's got a really interesting story, the tornado. I don't know if you know about this.
I know about it vaguely, but go on. What?
So the plans to actually build this steam engine were thrown in a skip. Somebody threw them out thinking that they were, worth nothing. Yeah. And then somebody discovered it in 1994, pulled them out of the skip, dusted them off, and managed to put it in front of the right people who said, wow, this is a fantastic piece of engineering. Let's build it.
Excellent.
So between 1994 and 2008, there was a building project started. Each individual piece of the tornado had to be built by hand, every single little piece. Put together, it took 14 years. They finally put it together and now it's used all over the country. And we got to see a little bit of it on Good Friday.
That must have cost millions as well. Every piece of it handmade.
Yeah.
Crikey. I bet it's worth more now than its individual parts.
Oh yeah.
It must be, mustn't it? What an absolute gem of a thing to watch. I'm afraid I missed it.
Yeah.
But have you ever seen one close up?
No, I've only seen video.
I mean, I'm not a train spotter, but even I, when I stood next to one in full steam, was absolutely amazed at the noise, the smell. And the one thing I wasn't expecting was that from I call it the chimney at the front, it gets rid of the fumes from the boiler. It's full of grit.
Wow.
So if you stand too close, you get covered in this rain of hot ash and grit that comes down on you. But I tell you what, they look and sound fantastic. That must have been awesome to watch.
Yeah, well, there were about 100 people turned up at Congleton Station on Friday to watch it, to see it go past. Some professional photographers and things. So,
fantastic.
Sight to behold.
Man, I wish I'd been there. I really do. I must find out when it's coming back because I would love to see it.
Well, you can also see it it was featured in Paddington 2.
Right.
So, yeah, if you want to get a glimpse of it.
I think it might also have been featured in an episode of Top Gear.
Sorry, yes, it was.
When they did a race from London to Edinburgh.
They did, yeah.
And they used an old motorbike of the same sort of era as that class of locomotives. So you're talking the 40s and 50s. An old Jaguar. And then the train on the East Coast Main Line.
Yeah, Clarkson was in the in the engine shoveling the coal.
I think that man has never been used to a day's work in his life. I think it came as a bit of a shock to him, didn't it? Mel, thanks for joining us again today. That's Mel Walker, who's the senior reporter at the Congleton Chronicle. I'm Mark Edwardson, and this has been another edition of Congleton Chronicled. Hope to see you next time.